Today I am in Vancouver in an area called Chinatown. It is a changing neighborhood, and I'm somewhat sad to leave this area. But I will be leaving and going on a trip of a lifetime starting tomorrow. And I will be talking about that further at the end of the video. But to preview the last video, I talked about movement and how you can use that to motivate yourself, to dance to music, to get out and do things that you need to do, biking and walking around your neighborhood for groceries or going to work, and also to meet friends and to grow your brain. Today I will be discussing about a way that I live in terms of dieting, and that is to take an anti-diabetic approach to diet as if I were diabetic, and I'll expand that a little further. I will also be interviewing a friend of mine who is a senior, and he has lived a healthy lifestyle all of his life. It's very simplistic, and you'll be amazed by how good shape he is in. At the top of an urban farm. This is in the neighborhood, and it is good use of the side of a hill that is wasn't being used before. It's been turned into an urban farm. I'm gonna meet a friend here, and we're gonna talk about nutrition, diabetes, among other things, including stoicism, and how that can help you in improving your diet. I think urban gardens are fantastic. They are awesome in so many regards. They provide you with nutrition in the form of vegetables. They will also provide you a form of recreational activity. Gardening requires a lot of digging and seeding, watering, walking, of course. So they keep you active. It is an educational process to learn how to go from seed to vegetable, and it's an education that is extremely helpful, empowering, knowing that you can make your own food and not have to depend on the local fast food place. It's great for the community. People get together, they support each other, help each other in these gardens, and of course you also save money because you don't have to go to the grocery store to buy these things. You just pick them right off your plants or your trees and so on. So please try to support urban gardens. So Paul has varied interests. He is a senior, he's retired. He does enjoy a healthy lifestyle, and he will discuss how he has lived with a model diet, and a very simplistic one, and hope that you can take away something from this interview. Hi, I hope all of you are well. Today I am in Vancouver, and I am interviewing a friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time. I think at least 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I've lost track. It's been a long time, but he's a good guy and very knowledgeable. We met at a autism meetup. And I want to ask him a few questions about how he's stayed well his whole life, and more specifically about nutrition. And so, please introduce yourself, Paul.
My name's Paul Leighton, and I have sort of kind of wide spectrum of interests because as far as my academic background, I didn't really favor the arts over the science. I took some science and some arts and a lot of sociology and microbiology and chemistry, and so I have a wide interest. I'm interested in the interaction between science and arts.
What did you do in your career?
I had a lot of the jobs I didn't really come out in my academic career, but I guess I had a lot of jobs in the library because I went to Ryerson and I got a certificate as a librarian assistant, so I did some things like that earlier.
That's why you love books so much.
Yeah. I guess I got into the field because I had a love for books, but being a library assistant isn't all about that. But it helps, I guess, to give people advice about books and things. That's part of it.
Cool. Is there anything about your life you want to mention before I ask you some questions?
Well, right now I'm very interested in the arts. I'm focused mainly on the visual arts, painting and drawing, and I'm interested in improvised music, and especially on the keyboard, and I play the flute as well, so I'm trying to develop those both interests.
Oh, those are great leisure activities in your retirement. Yeah, so those are great activities in your retirement, and I want to ask you how you've managed to stay so well and so fit throughout the decades.
Well, from an early age, in my 20s, I stopped eating pork and beef and I guess all the land animals. And I still eat seafood, but I was sort of concerned about the antibiotics and growth hormone, things like that they added to, or they injected cows and animals with, and even my brother was concerned recently about, he had a enlarged prostate gland, and he found out, the doctor told him not to eat dairy products because he was concerned that growth hormones in the dairy products could be influencing the enlargement of his prostate gland. And it was interesting me very much.
How's your brother now?
He's doing. He has a problem. His gastroparesis that I mentioned, and he has to deal with that. It's very. He takes some pills to improve it's sort of like a food, when he eats it doesn't digest it, the activity of his stomach isn't very active.
Did he have a good diet throughout his life?
I'm not sure. I don't think, he was a meat eater more.
Yeah, okay. So tell me about your diet and how you've managed to stay so healthy.
Well, I eat a very simple diet, and I have a few different ingredients I combine in different ways, but I try to eat food that's nutritious and satisfies my hunger. And so I'll eat, I use brown rice and quinoa, and I'll use one or the other, or cook that, and add some vegetables. Cauliflower, broccoli, and different things like that, and then I'll add some protein, maybe beans, or sometimes I'll cook popcorn shrimp that I get at no frills. It's really good rice, and it's basted, I guess. and it's quick to cook in a frying pan. It takes about maybe 3 minutes on each side. And then I add that to that mixture, and sometimes I'll use, as a sauce, I'll use mushroom soup or spaghetti sauce, really good spaghetti sauce, and I guess the brown beans sort of have makes a sauce too. And
Awesome. Do you usually cook your own food?
yeah, I always cook my own food because I live with my brother, and he has a very different diet than me. So I've been trying to stimulate him to improve his diet, not to eat as much like bread and things like that, which is very increases your weight sometimes if you have the habit of making sandwiches all the time.
A lot of empty calories in most bread, especially white bread.
Yeah, it's probably filling. It makes you feel filled, probably eating bread.
Temporarily.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Now you mentioned gastroparesis, and I know that's related to diabetes. Can you tell me? My mother is diabetic, and I've always taken a diet that is anti-diabetic, partly for that reason. Can you tell me what your thoughts are on the recent fad diet, the keto diet, which is basically no carbohydrates? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. To me, it seems. I've known people in the past. I knew someone one time that all they ate was meat. That's all they ate, but they seemed their spirit. They seemed very restless. This person I knew, I for a while I worked at this racetrack, and one of the people working there was. That's what he said his diet. He wouldn't eat vegetables at all, right? But it didn't seem very. It seemed to affect his how he seemed very restless and very. I'm easily irritated. It makes him mad. So.
Would you say that he was well? Emotionally well?
No. I think it was a social effect of that diet.
For me, I suspect that maybe he might be lacking a lot of vitamins in his diet.
Yeah.
Not having enough vegetables and that provide, vitamins
Maybe
provide
minerals,
so many, and minerals too, and other nutrients, and then those provide, the catalyst for your body to stay in homeostasis and to grow and develop. So if you don't have those things, that protein is not as useful. But yeah, it's good that you have protein, but without vitamins, it's not that good. So you don't have that protein in your diet though. So how do you manage not having meat yourself?
Well, I get protein from beans and peas, and like I sometimes buy that Habitat pea soup. That's a very good boiled meat pea soup, and that has protein. So I use that as a sauce too, sometimes. That's very good. That's about the best. The one I really like is using basting breaded shrimp, and then using pea soup. This pea soup, Habitat pea soup, is the sauce, and with rice, or it's very tasty. Add a bit of pepper, and it's good.
I'm glad that you're making your own food, because when you cook your own food, you know what you're eating, how it's being made, and so on. A lot of people, though, I guess because they live very busy lives and they're on the go all the time, they eat a lot of fast food and junk food. How do you manage to resist the food that is out there, the fast food?
Well, I don't eat a lot in restaurants, and I got a lot of restaurants. I don't know if they're very careful of what the ingredients they use in the food. They mainly trying to appeal to your taste, I guess, and draw you into the restaurant. And I eat very simple, like a simple diet. I have a very simple diet, and I avoid eating junk food. I guess I try not to eat any kind of food. But I guess it's good that you're and I guess some people even they're busy and they eat pre-packaged. TV dinners and stuff like that, right? Or even more involved kind of pre-packaged dinners and things like that, and you don't know exactly how it's made and what's added. Often manufacturers of food are more concerned about how long they can keep it on the shelf, so they're adding preservatives and everything that are maybe not good for you physically, but
that's a very good point.
But it makes them the food doesn't go moldy or something, and so they're more concerned about the profit motive than whether the foods what they're adding you're gonna be able to eat it.
I agree with you. Corporations are not interested in as much how good the food is for you.
It's become
as it is, their shelf life, how they can sell it, how they can market it, packaging, and all that stuff.
They're often even slight changes like in restaurants about be more nutritious is mainly from the pressure of the public, or they've done anything at all. It's not their primary goal. They have to people have to be upset about that the food isn't good enough before they'll do anything.
So tell me, I know there's lots of advertising out there. We're bombarded with it all the time, and they promote sugary breakfast cereals and chocolate bars and so-called natural foods, but like you said, they can stay on the shelf for years. How are you able to resist all that bombardment of advertising to consume these kind of products?
Well, I think a lot of the food advertising is more entertainment than filled with nutritional facts about their food. And so it's more like selling. I guess I was thinking it's more like selling video games. I mentioned before to you about when people buy Count Dracula cereal. Maybe there's some kind of mystery about it.
No, I tell you, I ate Count Dracula when I was a kid, and I liked it. And this flying cartoon vampire flying around, that was appealing to me when I was 5 years old. So I agree. There's all the advertising is aimed at to capture your attention.
Maybe the children are more influenced, and then the children influence the parents more than the parents that make a subtle decision what they want to buy.
Yes. So they aim at your entertainment needs and your taste needs, right? And not necessarily concerned about your
health,
how your health is going. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Now I know that you've been able to stay on a good diet for a very long time. You're in such good shape for your age, and you seem very cheerful and happy. And that must require a lot of discipline. Do you have any sort of tips on how to maintain such a good diet?
Well, I guess if I go to a restaurant, often I'll try not to choose something that's I don't know what it is, or I'll try to do something very simple, and I know that it has some kind of nutrition to it, and so that's my experience there. And also I try to daily I prepare my own food, so I try to eat nutritious food so that I'm not in a state of craving, and then I need some quick energy. So I think that's a good approach to food. And I guess I eat very simple foods, and I don't usually buy prepared food, and I avoid junk food. I think it's
Good.
It's more Mediterranean corporation than me.
And I agree with you. Those are very good tips. Making nutritious food, eating nutritious food, reduces the cravings that you have because your body is satisfied with the nutrients that you're giving it, and also not having the junk food available, convenient, makes it easier to resist that as well.
I guess I was going to mention that something else is it's good to have good drinking water, and you get drink lots of water, and avoid buying like if you buy a lot of juices and stuff like that. Often they'll have fructose and soft drinks and stuff like that. So I avoid drinking that because I've known that fructose that's in drinks, it has to be broken down by your kidneys, I think it is, and it's more healthy to eat the fructose that's in fruit because it's combined with fiber and it goes into your body at a slower pace. So that's a good idea to, if you have a craving for sugar, to have fruit. There's lots of variety of food. You can eat plums and watermelon, almost anything. There's nectarines and bananas, everything.
I totally agree with you. Just because it has fructose in it, and that's supposedly a natural sugar, if you're drinking it from a juice without any fiber, your body absorbs it way too quickly. The liver can't handle it. It screws up your insulin receptors and so on. But when you eat it with fruit, with all the fiber that's in the fruit, your body can manage the absorption a lot better. And yeah, so it makes a huge difference whether you eat it from a juice source, candy source, and then compared to if you eat it from natural fruits. And there's so much fruit out there, like you said. There's bound to be a few fruits that everybody likes. There's such a variety.
I sort of wonder why they choose to put fructose in soft drinks too, because maybe it's something to do with the source is cheaper or something. I wondered, that's they often have sucrose, but then they have fructose, so maybe something that we don't even know why it's maybe few cents cheaper or something, and that adds up, right?
It's quite possible. I wouldn't put anything past these corporations. They'll do anything.
Well, they get sugar often from sugar cane, I know, or
in any case, it's not good source of.
Interesting.
It's not good to have these kind of sugars, right?
Yeah.
Nutrient empty, and there's no fiber to slow down the absorption process.
Yeah.
But thank you for your time to answer some of these questions and how you manage to meet your nutritional needs through your decades, and how you manage to stay so well. I appreciate. So yes, please start your journey to an anti-diabetic diet. prevent diabetes. Journal your meals, start some meal plans, get some nutritious items into your diet, start a garden if you need to. Focus on the high protein to vitamins to carbs ratio. So, as mentioned, I am traveling for a long time, and that includes paring down to bare essentials. So this is Vancouver, departing now. It is September 29th. First time leaving North America, heading towards Tokyo. First time visiting Asia or any other continent for that matter. A little bit nervous, but excited at the same time. It's interesting to see this departure for the first time, as it feels much different than the other cruises I've taken along Alaska or along the west coast to California. This one is going to be touching Alaska, but from there, Juneau straight to Japan. And it'll be interesting crossing the Pacific Ocean for roughly a week. Power through this. It'll open up a new world for me, and it'll be worth it. My young son will experience travel after they join me, and it'll be definitely worth it for him. And it's exciting to do these kind of things if possible. It takes a little planning. Building up some courage and eventually executing. And just think about how positive it'll feel after it's done, and focus on that positive feeling. I can use my passions as a baseline for my planning and start working that plan now to complete my life dreams. I can use my passions as a baseline for my planning and start working that plan now to complete my dreams. I can use my passions as a baseline for my planning and start working that plan now to complete my dreams.
Because he's not here.